then it'll get cold. And anything that we plant, unfortunately, anything we plant, it won't grow very much in the winter time. So in Canberra, you really want to get your crops in now in the autumn so that they're ready for the winter time. And that's what we're doing here. So we've just prepared a veggie bed. It's a really shady bed actually, but in the winter time it gets sun because we're underneath our mulberry tree here. Can you pull a mulberry leaf down so people can see it? Yeah, beautiful. Yeah, it's a mulberry leaf. Beautiful for silkworms. So they were excellent when we were taking them into preschool. And so here's what the veggie bed looks like to show you. So it's got our irrigation on it. And in there, I've pulled out most of what was in there, but you can see these sort of plants sticking up. Ash, do you want to just pull one of those out so you can show people what they are? Yeah, and just hold it up to the camera. What does that look like? What do you reckon it is? Have a smell.
Garlic.
Garlic. Yeah, good job. So we put garlic in this patch last year, and it went really well. And I know you should really rotate crops, but in our garden, this patch is really shady and we've really struggled to find things that will grow in it. So we're just crossing our fingers and toes, enriching the soil and hoping that the garlic will continue to go well in this bed. So do you want to pull over the garlic, Ash, so we can have a look at how we're going to plant it? Beautiful. Yeah, bring it over. Now what we need to do with the garlic is we need to break it open so that you can get individual cloves that you plant. Yeah. Might just pop the camera down here while we get those cloves out. Yeah, beautiful. Doing a really great job there. And it can be a bit tricky. See how you sort of, oh, these are really lovely big bulbs of garlic that from the farmer's market. There's a few mozzies down here, so if you hear us sort of swatting our legs, that's the mosquitoes. So there we go, I've got a nice clove of garlic there. How are you going, Ash? Oh, it's quite tricky. And then you want to break them all apart so you've got individual cloves. Then with these individual cloves, Ash, if I break them apart on these, yeah, you can plant them. So you want to plant them by popping them, see the bottom bit of the clove that's kind of flat, you want to put that straight down so that the garlic can grow out of the top part of your little bulb here. And garlic can go in any time from now right up until apparently until the middle of the, what is it, not the equinox, the solstice. So until the winter solstice. But I do recommend putting it in soon. So you want to put it in April or early May if you can, so that it gets some good growing before the winter sets in. So have you got some cloves there, Ash? Yeah, beautiful. So what we're going to do with these cloves is we're going to plant them along the drip line. So see, we've got those drip lines because we want to make sure the bulbs get nice and watered, because in they love the cold temperature in Canberra, but then in the springtime you really want them to sort of swell up nicely. So we'll put them along the drip line so that they've got enough water for them to use. And we'll probably put them, so I was spacing mine like, what's that, a hand's apart, but actually I found it fine putting them quite close, maybe even just over 5 centimeters apart. I put them along the drip line. So shall we do that now? Can I get you to plant those? Yep. All right. Yep. And so you want to put it in with this flat bit facing down. Yeah? Do you want to do one row while we're here? Yeah. That's perfect. Yep, just perfect. And you want it, yeah, and the next one sort of maybe that far apart. Oh, now do you want something to dig that hole, or you just Great. You're doing a really good job. So, yeah. Lovely. All right. Now we might put the rest in later, but we want to show you what we do in between our rows of garlic. So, Ash, let's look at the next packet that we've got. What is this packet?
Coriander seeds.
It's a packet of coriander seeds, and you can see it looks like we might use them in the kitchen. We've found that coriander seeds for the kitchen work just fine. So we plant coriander in between our garlic rows. And so if you want to open that, yeah, beautiful. Great job. And then what we'll do is we'll see the soil's a bit rough there because I've just turned it with a fork. And maybe you just sprinkle it and then just sprinkle it in between there. And then I'll get you to sort of turn the soil over. You don't want it to grow on the garlic, so in between the two rows. Yeah, that's it. That's fabulous. And then I'll just show you what it looks like. So there we go. Got some. Do you want to throw another lot of coriander seed down? Put some coriander seed down. Maybe we put quite a bit in actually, a bit more than that even. And then I'll just, with my hands, just really loosely just turn it over so that those seeds go into the soil there. So the coriander seeds don't have to be buried very deep. That's probably enough for now. We'll finish that off a bit later. And they grow up beautifully in between your garlic. And coriander is a winter crop because it bolts in the summertime. It goes straight to flowers. So in the wintertime, you can have this massive coriander, and then up through that coriander, you've got your garlic growing. And so when you're harvesting that garlic in November, it's probably about the time you want to harvest the garlic. That's about the time that the coriander is finishing as well because it's getting a bit too hot. Yeah, so that's our little veggie patch experiment for today. What do you reckon, Ash? Good. Yeah, pretty cool. Shall we take them on a tour of our veggie patch? Because we had something that we needed to pick and we thought we'd show you all. Yeah? What were you going to pick?
The pumpkin.
The pumpkin. All right, Ashwyn. Ash is going to pop into the pumpkin and pick it. Let's do that. So it's on the other side. I'm going to stay on this side. So in this veggie patch here, we've got the pumpkin, which was a summer crop, and we know it's ready to pick because the end of it has sort of started to go yellow. So have a little look at that. Look at that pumpkin. All right. And we're going to pick that pumpkin now. Yep, it's quite tricky actually. Go, Ash. Oh, good job. Nice hollow sound. And now that that pumpkin's been picked, we might put a row of broccoli there along the edge of the fence there. Typically this patch here is where we put our chooks in the wintertime. But this winter because that other patch has got so shady, we've decided that we're going to convert the end patch here to a winter patch as well. So we'll put some brassicas in there, and then we've also got some lovely little seedlings of snow peas and sugar snap peas and some broad beans. I'll just show you a little bit of what we've got there. So those seedlings there, nicely all growing from seed. And you can see in the corner there is also our beans that haven't quite finished, but in a later episode we're going to show you how to save the seeds for your beans so that you can have your look at that. I think that's about all from us in our garden. Might show you our fig tree, the one that produced all those lovely figs for the fig jam just behind us there. So I'm on my phone today, so I can anyone who's now. Thank you. And Mr. Technology has just shown me how I can
We just had you drop out a little bit, Mia. You it's still a bit glitchy, but maybe in 1 second you just want to repeat what you just said.
We're just wondering if anyone had any questions.
Well, seeing as there's not very many of us, I'll just unmute everybody and maybe we can have a chat.
I've got a question. I'm trying to grow seeds here in the house. I've got lots of different seedlings on paper, and I'm not getting a great. The silver beet's starting to strike, and I've got broccoli seeds. Do you reckon that's quite a good way of getting seeds to strike, or what's your best method?
So for broccoli, yeah, if you've got them on paper, growing them inside or in a greenhouse is perfect. That's what I would do.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I should admit that I'm very lazy. Since having children, we've actually been buying seedlings for anything that you need to plant as a seedling. We've been buying it as a seedling and just planting things directly into the soil that are seeds. So peas and broad beans, we plant the seed directly in. Same with herbs. But apart from that, we've been actually buying our seedlings. So good on you.
Well, we'll see. The other question I had was a friend, instead of putting broccoli in as a head, she's putting emerging broccoli. So you just come out and pluck little bits of broccoli. And I think, I thought that sounded like a much better idea. So you just have your little bits to put in your stir fry and things rather than waiting for one big head to grow.
Yeah, that is absolutely our favourite way to do broccoli. And we've been, whenever we can get the sprouting broccoli, that's what we put in our garden. And you can get purple sprouting broccoli as well as regular sprouting broccoli. So it's definitely a thing and it's fantastic. But look, if you don't have sprouting broccoli, you can also just cut off the big head from regular broccoli and it does sprout. It just doesn't do it as well as the sprouting broccoli plants.
So is it called emerging broccoli or sprouting? What's the correct term?
Well, here in Australia, it's sprouting broccoli, but since you're in New Zealand, maybe it's referred to as emerging.
Yeah, I just want to try and buy some. I thought it was because we get the bugs on the other broccoli. Do you get bugs on yours? Your cabbages and.
Yep. Yeah. So we have to spray our broccoli every fortnight. I would spray them with dipel. So that's a bacteria that stops the cabbage moss caterpillars from eating the broccoli. But it's every fortnight. It's totally safe. It's a biological control, but I highly recommend it.
Can you say that name again?
Dipel.
Dipel. Okay.
Yeah. It should be in your local hardware store.
Yeah, it's organic.
Yeah, it's a bacteria, so it's a biological control. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Great advice.
Oh, pleasure. Anyone else?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you hear me, mate?
I can, yes.
Oh, good. How do you spell dipel? Just D-I-E-F-E-L or?
D-I-P-E-L.
Oh, D-I-P. Okay. Thank you.
No worries. Pleasure. Any other questions?
Just trying to think. No.
We will do another episode on gardening, most likely next week. There's just so much happening in the garden right now that it's impossible not to. And I keep saving up little garden jobs so that we can do them on our little webinars. So, Ashwyn just sat down suddenly. Yeah.
I have another question with the garlic.
Yeah.
Does it need to be sprouting before you start planting it, or you just put it in?
Yeah, the only sort of garlic you don't want is that stuff, the sort of dead white looking stuff that's imported from China, because when it's imported, they fumigate it apparently, like I've heard. Okay. So you want some really good locally grown garlic, and that's the trick to getting your garlic seeds right.
Yep. Thanks.
Pleasure.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you. Yeah, could think of some other things, but we'll save them up for next time.
Yeah, sounds great. I'll just get Ashwyn here to say goodbye. So thank you so much. It's been a pleasure seeing you all, and we'll see you again tomorrow for tomorrow's episode is on Easter. So yes, there will be chocolate, but there will be more than chocolate. So looking forward to seeing you tomorrow.
You'll have 3 boys helping you do that.
I suspect I will. What do you reckon, Ash?
Most likely Tasman.
Definitely. It's Tasman's episode
yes.
tomorrow. All right. Well, lovely to see you all, and we'll see you again tomorrow. Thanks for joining us today.
Thanks,
No
Mimi.
Thank you.
Lovely to see you.
Bye.
Julie.
Nice
Bye,
to see you
everyone.
too. Bye.